Dear students, in today's lecture, under this section of linear algebra, we will talk about two important topics, canonical forms and QR decomposition. First of all, we talk about canonical forms. Let's define it. If a real quadratic form B expressed as a sum or difference of the squares of new variables by means of any real non-singular linear transformation, then the later quadratic expression what we find after that transformation is called a canonical form of the given quadratic form. So a quadratic form will be given and we have to use some real non-singular linear transformation, and using that we will find the sum or difference of certain squares of new variables. Then that will be termed as a canonical form. Practically we can say, if a quadratic form x dash ax by means of certain matrices is sigma j equals to 1 to n, sigma I equals to n to twice 2 times sigma, because two variables xi and xj are involved, aij xij can be reduced. That is a quadratic form, but we want to reduce it to some other quadratic form y dash by with that single sigma I equals to 1 to n lambda yi square, and that other quadratic form can easily be observed as a sum or difference as per the value of lambda I may be positive or negative of squares yi square, and we have to do it by complete it by non-singular linear transformation, and in that case that y dash by, that particular matricial form, is called the canonical form because it is sum or difference of squares. Okay, and then that linear transformation is to be referred as x transformed into y through some helping matrix P. So x equals to Py, and because of this B equals to P dash AP, the diagonalized form, then that x dash ax equals to, it is summarized as y dash by equals to that particular expression. It all can be explained through one important example. Say reduce that quadratic form, you can see 3x square plus 3z square plus 4xy plus 8xz plus 8yz, and we want to change it into canonical form. Let us see how it is possible. The given quadratic form can be written as x dash ax, where that x dash is the row matrix xyz, and obviously x means the column of same components xyz in column shape, and the matrix A, it is to be created by that quadratic form. Then you can proceed for further solution. How it is possible? That matrix A is created by that quadratic form. How? Say coefficient of first variable's square, that is x square, can be considered as first variable, is 3. So it's 1 1 position, x into x, 1 1 position. Fine. So coefficient is 3. Then coefficient of y square is not there, so 2 2 position of that matrix is 0, and coefficient of z square is 3, so 3 z square is z into z, third variable considered. So coefficient of it is 3 3 position is filled with 3s. That is about filling principal diagonals first. Then we talk about remaining elements. Coefficient of x into y is 4. We have to divide it in two parts because 4 is coefficient of, not only coefficient of x into y but also of y into x. So 2xy plus 2yx can be the equal component of 4xy. So 2xy plus 2yx. So 2 is written for 1 2 position and 2 is written for 2 1 position. Fine. Then after xy we have say xz, coefficient is 8, that is 1 3, and 8xz can be written as 4xz plus 4zx. So coefficient of 1 3 position is 4 and coefficient of 3 1 position is also 4. Then yz is there, 8yz, y2z variable 3, so 2 3, and 8yz can be written as 4yz plus 4zy. So position of 2 3 is filled with 4 and 3 2 is filled also with 4. So that is how we can create that matrix A using that quadratic form. Then simple matricular compilations are there. Let us reduce A into diagonal form. That matrix A is to be reduced into diagonal form as per that theoretical instruction, and as we always know that A can be written as I3 A I3. A is in between two identity matrices of 3 cross 3. Then we have to operate it through elementary row as well as column operations. Both are possible to apply, and by doing that our target is to change that left hand side matrix A into diagonal form. That's why we are making these two parts 0 initially, so that first column is looking like a column of diagonal matrix. Then we will try for remaining columns, and same operation, same row operation and column operations are to be applied over right hand side. If row operation is there, it is to be applied over that first matrix, and third matrix will remain invariant, and in middle matrix A will always remain invariant throughout these all operations, which we will see in next slide. As you can see, now column operations are performed to make that two zeros in first row of left hand side, and in that case that same column operations are performed in matrix, third matrix of right hand side. First matrix is similar to that previous step. A is always invariant throughout this process, and then we have to make R3 plus R2 operation, that is we want to make this 0. So we are doing it systematically. First column created for diagonal matrix, then first row created, then second column is created as you can see, then next step you can see second row is created, and finally it is diagonalized by certain row and column operations. And whenever we perform row operation, the first matrix of right hand side is affected by that, same operation is to be performed there, and whenever we perform column operations, the third matrix is to be operated, first will be invariant. So that is, finally we obtained a diagonal matrix in left hand side. Matrix A is converted into the diagonal 3 minus 4 by 3 minus 1 are elements of principal diagonal, and that right hand side is to be recognized as P dash, that matrix is P dash A P, and you can easily check that these two matrices are transposes of each other, as P dash and P are the symbols. Now the canonical form, formula for the canonical form was Y dash P dash AP into Y, because it was the diagonal form in between, and Y dash and Y there. Y means Y1, Y2, Y3 column, and Y dash is transpose, so row Y1, Y2, Y3, and in between that diagonalized matrix is written there. And if we multiply these three matrices together, then the canonical form of the given quadratic form was in variables x, y, z, and it is canonical. 3y1 square minus 4 by 3y2 square minus y3 square is in three variables y1, y2, y3, and as you can see y1 square, y2 square, y3 square, then their coefficients are either positive or negative. That means sum or difference of squares. That's what was required for canonical form. So that is how any quadratic form can be converted into canonical form. Now we discuss an important example to understand the QR decomposition of a matrix. For that given matrix A of order 3 cross 3, a square matrix A of order 3 cross 3, we have to perform a QR decomposition, and for that we start with denoting three columns of that matrix A as x1, x2, x3. You can see x1 is 3, 3, 2, x2 is 4, 5, 2, and x3 is 1, 1, 1. Now we will use the Gram-Schmidt orthogonalization to generate a set of orthonormal vectors. That is x1, x2, x3 are with us. We will generate three orthonormal vectors, as you can see, say y1, y2 and y3. How we will generate it will be done through Gram-Schmidt orthogonalization, which we have discussed in short in one of my previous lectures, the statement only. Here we will use it practically, and we start with finding norm of that column x1. Root of 3 square plus 3 square plus 2 square is the simple formula. Value of that norm x1 is 4.6904. Then we have to divide column x1 by its norm. X1 divided by norm x1. We will find first orthonormal vector, that is y1. 3 divided by 4.6904, 3 again divided by same, and 2 divided by 4.6904, we obtain that y1. Then we need to calculate two more orthonormal vectors y2, y3 in that continuation, and for calculating y2 we need to calculate one intermediate column matrix Z2 using that formula. You have to remember the formula. Z2 is x2. You are given with that x2 minus transpose of x2, the row 4, 5, 2. y1 which we just obtained multiplied with y1 again. So that is, you can easily perform that matrix operation. You will find Z2 as that column and divide Z2 by its norm. So you have to calculate norm of Z2. It's very simple like that. Root of point minus 0.2273 square plus 0.7727 square plus minus 0.8182 square, you find it 1.1481. So Z2 divided by its norm 1.1481, in every component you will find final form of second orthonormal vector y2. Then for finding, in order to finding y3, the third orthonormal vector, we need to calculate one more intermediate column matrix Z3, and a formula which you have to remember is given here. X3 is there, 1 1 1 column minus X transpose, then y1, we know that y1 is there, then y1 multiplied with that minus x3 transpose into y2 is just previous step, we obtained y2 and then multiplied with y2. So simple matrix operation which can easily be performed to get Z3, and dividing Z3 by its norm. So calculate norm of Z3 by that process of calculating norm, and then Z3 divided by norm Z3 will produce the third orthonormal vector y3. You have to remember y1, y2 and y3, these three columns along with x1, x2, x3. Mixing these all together, we will find Q and R as matrices, or that will be the completion of QR decomposition in next slide. Now you can see out of QR, the matrix Q is constituted by y1, y2, y3, arranging them as columns, first, second and third columns respectively. Q is constituted. Now we need to constitute R also. R will be observed as a triangular matrix, as you can see there, and it is computed using this formula where Rij is position of elements, nothing else. Using this formula, say R11, R12, 13, 21, 222, 33, 132, 33, all are to be calculated. R11, y1 transpose into x1. We have y1, y2, y3 with x1, x2, x3 as per the previous slide. So y1 transpose, that matrix multiplied with x1 will produce that 1 1 position 4.6904. R12 as per that formula, y1 transpose into x2, it is 6.6092. Then R13 is at 1 subscript y1 transpose into 3 means x3. We have these all matrices as per previous slide with us. 1.705, the first row of that matrix R is obtained, and in second row that first position is 0, because that triangular matrix below principal diagonal we will have zeros. And if you want to check it, you can easily check with that other statement. You can check that entries below the diagonal are indeed 0. That is, if you calculate R21, it is y2 transpose into x, and you will find it as 0. Similarly, R31 y3 transpose into x1 as 0, and R32 y3 transpose into x2 will also be 0. And these three remaining elements are calculated there. R22 y2 transpose x2 is 1.1481, R23 y2 transpose into x3 is minus 0.2375, and R33 y3 transpose x3 is 0.1857. So important thing is to calculate y1, y2, y3 columns, then mixing them all we can find matrix R, and arranging them as columns we can find matrix Q. So that is about QR decomposition of a given square matrix of order 3 cross 3. It can be done for any square matrix of any order, and we must discuss its utility also. That QR decomposition is actually useful. Actually, it's a very general and powerful method for finding eigenvalues of especially non-symmetric matrices.